Okay, today I want to go through a quick question that was basically asked by Tim on one of my last posts called the day rate dwindle. So I want to answer also, like, instead of just writing the comments, I try to, when you have a question in the comments, try to make immediately kind of a response video to that comment instead of just writing it here, so that other people have the opportunity to get the answer here as well. So he's writing, let me explain my situation. I'm been doing video for a few years now, and 3 months ago finally went full time. I see how the day rate can be a big problem. I really want to offer to my clients proposals with projected gains and guarantees. Do you compare profit and loss versus the current marketing budget for a set period of time? Essentially, I'm really curious about the process you go through when making one of these proposals. I think that's the way I should be giving my bids to my clients. So far, the only metric I have is that my videos give clients 2x, 3x number of views on Facebook versus their personal videos. Okay, so you know what? I go outside, I want to walk to get some food, and then I'll explain this on the way. Shall we? Let's go. Okay, so let's get out of here. Thank you. I didn't see this here. Do what you love. Let's start with the end. You said that the only metrics you can think of or often clients are looking for is Facebook views, and it's 2x, 3x. First of all, I don't think so that, like viewership on YouTube or any other channel really matters unless it's really in the 100,000s or millions. I think it's totally overrated. What I always would make, and the other thing is, views are very intangible, because what does it translate into? If you can say, I brought in, with my work, 1 million views, and the 1 million views turn to be, let's say, $5 million, if you can quantify it this way, then I think that's the way to go. And your fee will be measured against YouTube views or Facebook views. There is no comparison between the two, because you are an expense, and as long as you can't quantify monetarily what the views on Facebook would mean, then you can't compare your fee against what you bring in. So you need to find something that your client understands that is more of a monetary value. So what I do is that before I even talk to a client, often they come in and they just say, hey, I want a project and such. And so what I do is, I'm not hopping immediately on the phone. We send them first a questionnaire, and we vet our potential client first if this is even a right fit and a serious inquiry. Because have you had the situation that often a client would just come in and say, hey, I want a project with you, and then you did all the work, you wrote proposals and everything, right? And then in the end you find out that he wasn't even interested from the start. And I want to weed out those type of people, because they are immensely time consuming. So what I'm doing is, then when they have an inquiry, let's say via email or even a phone call, I'm not picking up the phone. I'm trying to get their email address and send them a questionnaire. It's about 10 questions, and it includes what they want to do, what their goal is, where they are at, and what their budget is. I think those are the most important things you want to ask. So after they filled out the questionnaire, then I'm sitting together with my team, figure out, is this a real deal? And then we schedule a phone meeting. And before I hop on the phone, I'm doing some in-depth research of the client. For me, who is specialized in nonprofit brands, it's very, very easy, because for most of my potential clients, I can download on a website called guidestar.com their tax returns, because they are public. So I can look already what the ratio is of income they have, what they cost, what the costs are, what the CEO and everybody else amongst the VPs is making, how many donations are coming in, what their overall expense is. Some have even listed what their marketing budgets are. All of this gives me an idea, is this a client who will be able to pay my fee? And is this a client that I can help, right? Potentially. So then I hop with them on the phone and ask them a whole set of questions. What's your goal? Who's your target audience? Have you seen? I've not even talked or anything about videos yet, right? Or film or a campaign. So I ask them about what their goals are, what they hope to achieve, what the target audience is, what the time frame is, and so on. I have a whole catalog of 6 other questions that I then clarify with a client. And based on all of that research, on the questionnaire, on the phone call, and based on what I find online about them, then we build a proposal. And from the proposal, I build something, like a value proposition. So if my fee is for, a film campaign, $100,000, then I need to make sure that they have growth, potential growth. So how do I know? I look at their past 3 years, how they were trending, where they're trending upwards or downwards, let's say in donations or sign-ups for a summer camp or a university. So I can see the trend. I also ask what their max number would be. So for example, in a camp, if the camp has already 1,000 kids and they couldn't grow more, then that might be not a good idea, to work with them, because you want to always show that you can grow your clients and that you are the silver bullet for that. So what I'm basically doing here is that I try to create a value proposition between what I potentially will bring in. Let's say I bring you in $1.5 million. Here is, and this is in my proposal, here is how we're gonna do this. And then here is my fee. And then the fee, I say this also in a section that's called a return of investment. I always make it palatable. So for example, if my fee is, let's say, $50,000 and the camp is $10,000, then I tell them, hey, I need to only grow you 5 campers in order to pay, this campaign for itself. But we expect much, much more, to come in. So you see what I'm doing? I say we bring in, X percentage or $1.5 million. Here is my fee. And this is the amount of people or sales that will basically at least generate the fee for me and for my services. And I kind of frame it in a way that it's almost there is no loss or not even an investment for them or an expense for them, because I'm really making sure and vet them properly that I can really deliver on that. And I think when you go with that approach, then you have an opportunity to always combat the cheapo guys, because the cheapo guys are just saying what they cost. They don't say what they will bring back, right? So I think if you are constantly thinking of what will your work bring in for your client, you always think of the benefits for your client, never about the features that you come with a bigger camera, with a bigger crew, with a longer film. That doesn't mean anything to anyone. But if you say, I'm making a longer film because studies have shown, or we have the experience that it converts into 50% increase, then that's a value proposition that your client can certainly understand. So to sum it up, don't just jump on the phone when a client calls you. Hold them at arm's length first to vet them, and you can do it, for example, with a questionnaire. Then the second is that once you have vetted them and you feel this is the fit, then you schedule a phone call. Before you do the phone call, you go to guidestar.com if you work for a nonprofit. And if not, then you try to get other public records of companies and their financial statements and rumors or whatever is there. And then you then you make the phone call, figure out what they are looking for and so on. And then make a stellar proposal. Our proposal is about 15 till 18 pages long, and it's almost like a kind of educational piece for the client, showing the return of investment, what our process is, and how they are winning and how we will do this. So it's like almost like a mini tutorial that they understand what they're getting into. So that's pretty much it. Once you have all of this together, then I think you can really reframe the whole situation. So I hope this helps, and if you like more of this stuff, hop over to Entre Filmmaker over there. I have much more stuff than just here on this video channel, and I would be ever so grateful if you would subscribe here either on YouTube or on Entre Filmmaker, and you would be basically first in line to get all the new stuff that I'm pushing out. Okay, so happy shooting, all the best, bye bye.